I certainly didn't think I'd be back in the position of asking people to relax every day to start the 2018. That was my mantra most of last year, and 5 games into this, I'm back in that spot. Despite 6 games against teams expected to be pretty bad in 2018, the Cubs have started out with just 2 wins in their first 5 games. Let's talk a little bit about why teams are projected to be bad. When teams are Y healthy and Y rested, the spread in talent is not that massive. I know the Marlins aren't even Y healthy, so that part doesn't really even apply to them. But they were well rested. Every team comes out of spring training pretty well rested, and being at home only increases that. Health and rest are certainly a component of why a team is projected to be bad. Another one is the quality of their depth. When injuries and fatigue take effect, how big is the drop-off to the next man up? 4 games into the depth doesn't matter much. But come July and August, the story is different. One of the things experts are excited about with the Cubs is that if a key player is injured, they have a quality replacement at just about every position except catcher, and even their Victor Caratini and Chris Jimenez are probably as good as at least a few other teams have regularly. I'm not great at figuring out standard deviation, but I can tell you that a team expected to win around 60% of its game will have many stretches during the where they lose 3 out of 5 games. I seem to recall last year's team that won just under 60% of its games having an 0-6 road trip that included getting swept by the Padres. The World Series team lost 15 of 20 at one point. It happens. Relax. With that, we turn our attention to yesterday's game as we look at what WPA had to say about heroes and goats. As always, the heroes and goats are determined by WPA win probability added. Here's a good explanation of how WPA works and are not in any way subjective. Many days WPA will not tell the story of what happened, but often it can give at least a glimpse to who rose to the occasion in a high leverage moment, or who didn't get the job done in that moment. Also note, for the purposes of heroes and goats, we ignore the results of pitchers while they are batting and hitters while they are pitching. With that, we get to the results. Game 5, April 2nd, Cubs shut out by Reds 1-0-2-3. Source, Fangraphs. The 3 heroes. Superhero, Tyler Chatwood. .181. I don't know if it was jitters or the cold or what, but Tyler was shaky yesterday. And yet, 6 innings, 4 hits, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 run. Only one of those numbers is bad. To be sure, if the walk rate were to continue, he'll get knocked all over the place. It won't. Hero, Justin Wilson. .046. Justin threw a perfect 7th inning, striking out 2. Tiny sample size alert. That's 3.2 scoreless innings to start the year for Justin, with 1 hit, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. If he's going to be a high-quality reliever, the bullpen looks that much stronger. Sidekick, Pedro Strop. .033. Pedro threw a scoreless 8th inning, allowing 1 hit. Pedro also has 3.2 scoreless innings, and so does Mike Montgomery. Pedro's allowed 4 hits and a walk already. He does have 3 strikeouts, but he's living a little dangerously. The 3 goats, Billy Goat, Wilson Contreras. -.191. Wilson's having a terrible start to his 2018. He was hitless in 4 at-bats yesterday and has just 4 hits in his first 21 at-bats. He has 1 double and 1 walk. There was no standout at bat for Wilson yesterday. The largest negative score was from flying out to start the 9th, -.075. Goat, Anthony Rizzo. -.171. Rizzo's not doing a whole lot better. He has 3 hits in 23 at-bats. He does have a home run, a walk and 3 hit by pitches, though, to keep his on-base and slugging up a little. He reached base once in 4 plate appearances by way of a hit by pitch. He lands here for his strikeout with the bases loaded to end the 8th. -.176. Kid, Addison Russell. -.147. Addison had been hitting decently to start the year, but the Cubs mustered a total of 2 hits yesterday, even with 5 walks and a hit by pitch. That's not going to get it done. Addison was also hitless in 4 at-bats. Russell lands here by hitting into a double play in the 4th. -.063. WPA play of the day. For the 5th consecutive day, this event is a -1 for the Cubs. In the 8th inning, the Cubs finally mustered a little rally. After Jason Hayward and Javier Baez struck out to start the inning, Ben Zobrist drew a pinch-hit walk. Ian Happ followed with a single, and the Reds summoned their closer Raisel Iglesias. He walked Chris Bryant, and that brought Anthony Rizzo to the plate. Unfortunately, Anthony struck out to end the inning and snuffed the only real scoring chance on the day. Cubs' highest positive WPA of the day, Tyler Chatwood induced a double play to escape a bases-loaded jam in the first inning. .142. Cumulative leaders: Superhero, Chris Bryant; 4 Hero, Steve Cishek, Eddie Butler, Ben Zobrist, Tyler Chatwood. 3 Up next, the Cubs are slated to finish their 2-game set against the Reds tonight. The weather report is fairly bleak, and the game may not happen. If it does, Jon Lester will be the Cubs pitcher. Jon will be looking to bounce back from a tough opening day start in which he allowed 7 hits, 3 walks and 4 runs, 3 earned in 3.1 innings. Cody Reed will be the Reds starter. The Cubs bats should be hoping to get this one in. Cody Reed has pitched against the Cubs 3 times. Cody is 0-3 with a 16.20 ERA over 10 innings pitched. That's a small sample size, but he allowed 18 hits, 8 walks, 7 home runs and 22 runs, only 18 earned. In fairness, the Reds have hit Lester very well in his last 5 starts against them too. In those 5 starts, HES thrown just 23.1 innings, allowing 33 hits, 7 walks and 22 runs, 20 earned. A lot of that damage occurred in one start last August at Wrigley Field. He had a strong tune-up against them in the final series of the year, throwing 5 scoreless innings. 76%, 49 votes, 17%, 11 votes, 0%, 0 votes, 1%, 1 vote, 3%, 2 votes, 1%, 1 vote, 64 votes total. Vote now.